here. So what is hospital indemnity all about? Basically, it's a way in which your clients can make themselves whole if they've had a hospital stay. And it's not necessarily just for people 65 years old and older. As we now have experienced almost a full year with Obamacare or healthcare reform, people have realized that there are definite gaps in their individual health coverage, not only that, but also potentially in the senior market if people are taking advantage of the Medicare Advantage type programs. So there's definitely a market for this type of policy, and one of our carriers that we represent, and you'll learn a little bit more here in a few minutes, has been in this market for quite a while and has done quite well. I mean, usually during open enrollment period alone, they'll get up to 2,000 applications a week. Oops. So again, as I mentioned, just about every Medicare Advantage program, there are a few areas where Medicare Advantage plans don't have any hospital co-pays, but overall the majority of them do. Usually $250 to $350 per day for the first anywhere from 4 to 6, 8 days of a hospital stay per year. And that can add up significantly to a senior person who's facing those higher expenses. You know, they may have saved quite a bit on the premium for the Medicare Advantage, but they have to be careful on the back end as far as the quote-unquote hidden costs. And even the underage 65 health plans through healthcare reform have deductibles and copays as well. So this type of insurance can go a long way to help relieve some of the financial stress, just along with other policies like critical illness or personal accident that can basically cover the gaps in the insurance or hidden costs that people just don't recognize when they initially purchase a policy. So why now versus 6 months ago? Well, it is open enrollment. It's getting a lot of TV space. I haven't been able to watch TV one evening without seeing an ad for a Medicare Advantage program. And also coming up the 1st of November is the annual enrollment for healthcare reform for individual market under age 65. And I know, for example, in Oregon, everybody who enrolled on the Oregon exchange last year is going to have to re-enroll on the federal exchange this fall for coverage beginning in 2015. So there's a lot of activity happening out there, and we know that many of you are involved in that market, both on the senior side with the AEP and on the individual side as well for the under age 65 market. So there's a couple of statistics you can keep in mind as far as, oops, I'm sorry, I had a wrong number on there. It's 1 in 10 under the age of between the ages of 45 and 65 will experience a hospital stay in a one-year period, and 1 in 5 for ages 65 and older. And the average hospital stay is trending down, but it's still hovering right about 5 days per visit. So we have two solutions to offer your clients to add more value to your book of business: Guaranteed Trust Life, GTL, and Life Secure. And we'll kind of walk through each one of these as we go forward this morning. So who is Life Secure? Life Secure is a fully owned subsidiary of the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan of Michigan. They are the largest Blue plan in the country. They've been on the market now for 9 years. They primarily offer long-term care, and then a couple of years ago they introduced a hospital recovery policy. What they call a hospital recovery, we call basically a hospital indemnity type plan. And they also offer a short-term care plan to go along with their long-term care insurance policy as well. With them, it's all about the technology. They had a chance to develop their systems before they came to the market. They're very robust. Everything is done online. Their online application process is very easy and slick. You can't make any mistakes. They still will allow you to take a paper application, but they prefer you do all of your business with them online. And you can see that they're embracing the younger market quite well, with issue ages anywhere from 18 to 75. Daily benefits of a minimum of $100 up to $999 per day. So a lot of flexibility in the plan design. and it does cover you for a 15-day per calendar year benefit period. So it resets every year on January 1. And typical with these policies, there's no coordination of benefits. You just basically have the hospital stay, and you send your EOB in to LifeSecure showing that you had that hospital stay, and they'll write you a check for whatever benefit level you selected over however many days you were confined to the hospital. Very easy to get issued. It's an accept reject based upon I think it's 4 or 5 health questions, fairly innocuous. Basically, they're asking you if you have been hospitalized in the last 2 to 3 years. Very heavy, logical knockout type questions. And again, as I mentioned earlier, their enrollment is all achieved mainly online, but they do offer the ability to do a paper app, although they really do not. They don't encourage it as much as they encourage you to do the online application. So these policies are very simple. They're very easy to present. You're talking premiums that are realistic, like the $30 to $40 per month range. So it doesn't have a huge impact if you're selling in the AEP and selling Medicare Advantage and you're getting people onto a very low, if not zero premium policy. Don't leave money laying on the table. Come back for another appointment and have a discussion with them about how they can enhance their Medicare Advantage by putting this type of coverage on their policy. And that way you're not basically leaving some commission dollars on the table for yourself. It also adds more value to your book of business. The more product you can have in one household, the more loyal those people will be toward you as their agent. Who is Guaranteed Trust Life? Well, they're a privately owned mutual company just outside of Chicago, Illinois, been in the business since 1926. They are a niche insurance company type approach to the marketplace. They have quite a number of policies that they make available out there. They have critical illness on steroids, we call for critical care, and that will be the topic of our webinar next Tuesday. They have a hospital indemnity plan, which I'll be showing you the nuts and bolts of here in a couple of minutes. They have standard cancer, heart attack, and stroke, lump sum type products. They have a number of little niche type products that go a long way to help you add more value to your book of business. Issue ages, I'm sorry, it's 40 to 85, not 65. They just started rolling out an enhanced version of their Advantage Plus product here in the last year and a half, where they used to start off at age 64 and a half. Now they're going down to age 40. So they realize that there's a huge potential for the marketplace for people under the age of 65 to pick up a policy like this. Daily benefit ranges from $100 to up to $600 per day. We usually see the average policy being about $250 to $300 per day. And they have 2 different offerings you can choose from. One is a 10-day plan, and the other one is a 31-day plan per year, with the predominant one being the 10-day plan, which addresses most all Medicare Advantage copays and will go a long way to helping out people on regular individual health as well. Now, different from the LifeSecure offering, GTL has a number of riders that you can potentially add to their core policy to enhance it even further, and I'll walk you through a few of those. You can add an ambulance rider that will pay you $200 per trip, up to 2 trips per year, whether it be a ground ambulance or air ambulance. You can buy a lump sum cancer rider, $5,000 to $10,000 for a very little bit of underwriting. You can add a skilled nursing facility rider that will pay anywhere from $100 to $200 per day for days 1 through 50 at a nursing home once you've been discharged from a hospital. You can buy a lump sum hospital confinement rider. So on top of getting, for example, the $250 per day up to 10 days, you can get an additional up to $750 just for having a hospital confinement. And then if you want, you can enhance even further by adding an outpatient surgical rider for up to $1,000. That can go a long way to helping people under the age of 65 because more and more procedures are taking place in the outpatient environment. A unique thing with their product, it is guarantee issue for seniors when they're in their open enrollment aging into Medicare. So ages 64.5 through 65.5, it is a guarantee issue. They have 3 ways in which you can apply for their coverage. They have the old-fashioned short paper application. They have an online application on their website. They also have developed an application for an iPad, where it's an app you download on your iPad, and if you have internet access and you're taking the app on your iPad, within seconds of you hitting the submit button, the policy is now resident on your client's desktop. If you don't have internet where you're using your iPad, once you do have access, you can upload that application, and it's not even touched by human hands. They scan it in, they do the MIB, they do the farm check, and within a matter of a few seconds or so, a policy is generated and emailed right back to your client. So it's kind of a slick way to get a policy through quickly. So again, this is a pretty brief webinar just because these policies are so simple. There's not a lot really complicated about them to learn about. GTLs is a little bit more complex because you do have a number of riders you can add to the core policy to enhance it even further. However, the majority of the policies being issued are just with the core benefits, just to take care of that need. And like I mentioned earlier, historically, it's always been mainly in the senior market, especially since Medicare Advantage plans have been out since 2006. However, there's significant value to be added to the individual health market under age 65 with healthcare reform, and people now having an idea of, okay, now what have I got myself into? I bought a bronze plan. What does it cover? What does it not cover? What kind of out-of-pocket do I have for deductibles or co-pays or annual out-of-pocket maximums? So again, if you have any other questions about what we've got going on here, I'm going to unmute everybody here in just a second, but you can feel free to contact us here at AIM. We still love to talk with people on the phone at 800-672-7202. Again, our website where all this material resides is www.whyAIM, so whyaim.com. If you have not been set up with a login to get to what we call the family jewels behind the wall, give us a call, and as long as you're appointed with us with at least one carrier, we can allow you access to some excellent tools that we've developed over time, anywhere from a Medicare supplement rate calculation tool. You can do online quoting for long-term care. All the supplies for all the companies, for all the states we do business in, are also resident up on our website as well, as long as many other resources, such as being able to keep track of your own business, what you have pending and what you have in force. So I would encourage you to spend some time on our website, and if you haven't taken the step to get a login ID and password, contact us. We'll be happy to set you up with that. Okay, I am going through and I am unmuting people as I go along here, and if you do have me on a speakerphone, if you would please mute your speakerphone, I would sincerely appreciate that, so everybody else can benefit from hearing the question, not only the question but the answer as well. So with that, if anybody has any questions about hospital indemnity overall, or anything in particular about the GTL Life Secure, please bring it up now. I will tell you that neither of these products are available in California or New York. So if you're in one of those 2 states, thank you for joining me. I'm sorry I should have told you right up front, but California is kind of a challenge to get a lot of insurance products through the Office of the Insurance Commissioner. Any questions at all?
How do the rates run?
Like I mentioned earlier, the average policy we saw coming out of like in Oregon last year was a $250 per day, 10-day plan, and the premiums were running between $30 and $40 a month.
That's probably the same for Washington?
Yes. Yeah, the rates are pretty consistent across the different states.
They age rated?
They are, but it's levelized based upon your application age. It doesn't go up each year like some states where the Med Sup goes up each year.
Okay.
Of the 2 carriers I talked about today, GTL probably has the longer track record in this market. and they feel comfortable enough where they actually offer it on a guarantee issue for people who are involved in aging into Medicare.
Does that apply for aging into Medicare if people have deferred Part B and they're still working and then they leave their job?
No, it's specific. It's specifically ages 64 and a half to 65 and a half.
Okay.
All very good questions, by the way.
Thanks, Dave. This is Sandy.
Oh, hi, Sandy. We'd love to send you a kit if you haven't already done it. So just give me a holler after the webinar or pop me an email. My email is dave.whelan, spelled W-H-E-L-A-N, @yaim.com.
Okay.
So again, it's dave.whelan, spelled W-H-E-L-A-N, @yaim.com. Or call me.
That must mean it's available here in Washington.
It is available in Washington. Both products are.
California's worse than Washington?
Pardon me?
California's worse than Washington for getting approval?
Yes. There's a reason why they call it a republic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, listen, thank you again for taking the time to join me this morning. This session has been recorded. It will be up on our website for your future reference, as are the others. Just one more note that we have our next upcoming webinar is a week from today on November 4th. We're going to give you a break on Halloween Day, this Friday, and it will be on GTL's critical care, critical illness product. We call it critical illness on steroids. And if you want to know why it's on steroids, tune in. You'll learn more about it next Tuesday. Again, thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye, Dave.
Bye.